You live in Wuhan. Well, you've got to ask yourself a question. Do you feel lucky, punk? Well, do you? Hey everyone, today I want to talk about groceries. Actually, I want to talk about my experience in the original Wuhan lockdown of January 2020, when we were all worried about this emerging killer virus, of course. We were also worried about where we would get our next meal. I mean, literally. We were locked in our apartments and the stores were all closed. Before I get started, I'd like you guys to take a look at this picture. Well, it's one of my fondest memories from, well, can you say fondest memories during a 76-day lockdown when you don't know what the future is? But yeah, anyway, I'll get to it. But first, let me show you the groceries I just got delivered. And then after that, we'll take a trip to the supermarket. And, if you've never been to a Chinese supermarket, kind of upscale, you get a feel for what they have on offer. Eggs, tender sliced ham. Lettuce. Broccoli. Uh-oh, what did I break? Apples. Okay, you guys get the picture. We get our food delivered these days. And that's really what I was thinking about when I walked into this supermarket. Not just how much life has changed for all of us, but memories started flooding back of our COVID lockdown experience, which I'll tell you all about after the trip to the supermarket. I'm going to check out the BHG. It's a supermarket. It's a little more upscale than others. I've never been in this one, so I wonder if they have mostly just the normal Chinese things, or if they have a good assortment of international goods. They won't want me videoing this, so it's only a matter of time. But I'll wait until they tell me to stop. Always astounded by the cooking oil sections. That's a lot of cooking oil, including olive oil, which is what I cook with, because foreigner. And of course the soy sauce, chili oils, all different kind of oils. Plum sauces, vinegars, white vinegar, black vinegar, every color vinegar. Vinegar, 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 vinegar. And the wine aisle. Usually this stuff is just freaking expensive. But if you can find a 2-for-1, ooh, and if you can stand drinking the Great Wall, China's brand, no thanks. No, not really that much. And some spirits. basically the same kind of supermarket I see all over. Nothing I couldn't get anywhere else, and especially where we shop, which is online. We shop at a place called Mr. Hippo, Hippo. We have our hippo rights here. Anyway, let me talk now about the original lockdown of January 2020. You know, the word lockdown is thrown around a lot, and it's meaningful. The Wuhan lockdown, though, was different. You know, at that time, we didn't know anything about this virus. Bodies were piling up. Hospitals were overrun. And the government had completely sealed off Wuhan. So there was, there was a lot of anxiety. And one of the things we were really worried about was, where would we get the food? And originally, of course, there was the mad dash to the supermarket. And then slowly, they would tell us you can only go out for 2 hours a day, or 1 hour a day, or once a week. And that happened for a couple weeks, and then suddenly we were completely locked down and stuck in our apartment for 23, 24 hours a day. I say 23 because we were allowed to go downstairs and pick up food. Anyway, let me show you some pictures. This was the first morning of the lockdown. As expected, everyone rushed to the supermarkets, cleared the shelves. The lines were long. People were, standing nose to nose. We didn't know what was going on in terms of transmission. We stocked up on a lot of, instant noodles because they would last. Most of the veggies, they were just torn off the shelves. Shortly thereafter, they erected gates at our community, checkpoints. We were still allowed out of the apartment, and we went to the store and the pharmacy every day. But after a few days, the guard at our gate told us, "You're going out too frequently." And, we got the message. And then shortly after that, we were allowed 1 hour a day, and then 1 hour a week, and then finally, we were just completely locked in our apartments. Really, the only people we saw were these guys who would clean the halls, disinfect the halls. Our whole world was this view from our 22nd floor balcony. And of course, the trips down to get the food. By this time, the volunteer leaders of our community were really doing an amazing job. They had arranged these bags of food that we would get. Of course, we'd have to pay for, but it was very inexpensive. They would just message us and say, "The food is here." We would go down, pick up our bag, and it's usually, it's always veggies, pork, pretty much the same veggies and pork. We got used to it, but it gets old. Kind of like the instant noodles were our treat. One day we got this message on our group chat from Manager Liao, the leader of the volunteers, the guy who's leading the arranging of just about everything. And he had gotten us these fresh vegetables at no charge. He knew a farmer, and the farmer delivered them. And he said, "Come down, get your veggies." And it was such a touching gesture. It was the one gesture that I'll remember most during this whole ordeal. It was just so cool. It's always the little things, isn't it? Next, someone from our community found a place that would deliver groceries, but only in bulk. So it was like, they're selling dumplings, but we need to buy 100 packages. Or you could buy bread, but if you buy bread, you have to buy this big assortment. Then there was the guy with the alcohol store down at the base of our building. He wasn't allowed to open, but he delivered me my wine. And that's how we made it through the lockdown. Our community really came together. It was wonderful to see. Our food anxiety was lessened to zero. And then one day, it was over. They opened the doors, they let us out, and the lockdown, well, it was just a memory. And that's my lockdown food story. I hope you enjoyed it. And I guess I'm going to end my video now. I really want to thank you for watching. If you have a comment, please leave it below. Please share this video with others who might be interested. And finally, if you haven't already, press the subscribe button. I really appreciate it. All right, I'm going to sign off. Thanks. See you next time. Corona party in Wuhan! Woohoo!